in business for a long time. In that time, you must have seen some real life-changing stories of people coming into your business, starting this new life. You've listened to what they want. I'm sure there are lots, but are there any that stick out in your mind?
Yeah, I think so. And I think, when you really dig deep and when you meet people and they've been in the employment sector, in that world that we leave school and are told to go into, I've seen a lot of people suffering from burnout and, just simply being overworked, overstretched in certain instances where people have come to We Love Pets and they're beaten. Harvey, you've just met them and they're in tears. And you look at them and think, God, is this really what employment can do to people as adults? And I think the biggest thing for me, and we've got the franchisee and they're still in situ, he's a lovely chap, and I don't need to mention any names, but for me it was a big thing. He was bullied at work. Well, at 44 years old, bullied? What's wrong with him? That would be the old school mentality. He was actually bullied to a point, Harvey, where he couldn't cope with his life anymore. And I remember meeting him and his wife, and I looked at this guy and he was just, he'd lost everything. He'd lost everything about himself. And he laughed at a joke of mine. I wrote that in the diary. It was probably the first time anyone's actually laughed. But he laughed and he stopped and he paused, and his wife looked at him and she said, "That's the first time I've seen you laugh in years."
Oh.
And it resonated. It made me feel really sad. And at that moment, Harvey, I really wanted to ensure that I wanted him to invest in the franchise. I wanted to protect him. And as a leader of this company, all our franchisees will say I'm very protective. He joined, he's been with us 7 years now. And every month it's funny, he gets in touch and he says, "Oh, have you seen I've got a 5-star review?" I say, I saw it before you saw it. I knew it was going to happen because you're providing the best possible pet care service you could ever do. And him and his wife operate and they work a real tight ship. And he said to me, about 2 years ago, he phoned me and he had a bit of this sort of funny wobble to his voice. And I thought, oh, what's going on? He said, "Ryan, I've seen the figures of the new franchisees joining. They're hitting they're hitting things and just grow, and they're overtaking me in every way, shape and form." I said, "Overtaking who?" He said, "Well, just how much they're earning and achieving." Who put this? It's not competition here. Are you still happy in your life, in your branch, in your We Love Pets business? Yeah, of course I am, but I'm worried. Are you happy with me? Am I happy with you? Let's work it out. You honor and respect this brand. You do everything you possibly can to carry out the best welfare-driven pet care service in your area. You're happy. And am I happy with you? What am I going to say here? I'm ecstatic. I hope you sign for another 5 years, and I'll have you for 5 more after that. And for me, I had a painful moment where I started to wonder whether some of the franchisees that were the lifestylers are getting caught out by the management style. So we had a bit of a message go round and explaining that anyone that wears this with pride and passion and respect and honour and follow our protective policies and restrictions that ensure that it's welfare driven, anybody that wears this with as much pride as my team at HQ and my children even, you're welcome and you can stay for as long as you need. It's not a competition. We Love Pets is about honouring your own ethos and the culture within our family. We're all going to be slightly different in certain avenues, and I think the biggest thing for us is it showed that we have the ability to support lifestylers to achieve something they want to achieve, which is again the highest currency, their time. And then the management style that really want to grab the industry by its horns and go full pelt. And that is probably the most life-changing for me. You had a man that contemplated his own life as an adult, whether he wanted to continue living, because he was bullied by other human beings. And I believe that We Love Pets put our big arms around that family and supported them and gave them that courage and developed them into who they really are. We didn't develop them into something we wanted. We embraced them and let them be who they wanted.
I love that.